From Central Indiana's number one news source. This is Fox 59 Tonight.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 59 Tonight. I'm Cameron Riddle. We appreciate you downloading our new smart TV app, Fox 59 Now. You can find it on your Apple, Roku, or Fire TV. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of the conversations that we have every night at 8 o'clock here on Fox 59 Tonight. Tonight, we're talking about how you can help, or in some cases, how maybe you can receive help. But there are no shortage of people who, especially after COVID, can say they've got too much food. There's a lot of hunger out there. There are a lot of people who need help. And you've got a lot of food banks and food drives that are working overtime, have been working nonstop over the past couple of years to make sure people are fed. But how does that food get to that food bank, get to that food pantry? It has to start somewhere. Somebody's packing this up. Who are these people? I'll introduce you to one of the people leading that pack, if you will. From Pack Away Hunger is Nick Reich. He's the CEO. Nick, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Cameron.
Thank you for what you guys do. I bring up COVID because that's a time when you had a lot of people not working, and you had a lot of people going to food banks. You had a lot of people in those lines getting food. And to be honest, in a lot of ways, things they still exist. Yeah. That problem hasn't gone away. I'm wondering first, what's the reality for you guys? Have things slowed down, or is it just as busy? Because I know the need is still there.
Yeah, absolutely. The need is increasing, across the state. We see food insecurity rising, so it's a combination of a lot of things. We know grocery prices are higher and rising. So food insecurity is not getting better. And it's often a hidden thing, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know the person next to us hasn't had a meal. So yes, it's absolutely rising across the state. And we're certainly one of a lot of organizations trying to keep pace.
So let's explain. Pack Away Hunger, there's a lot of names out there, a lot of organizations, absolutely. But yours, Pack Away Hunger, what do you guys actually do?
Pack Away Hunger, we're celebrating our 15-year birthday anniversary. This summer. Thank you. And we pack the Nutri-Plenty meal. So it's a soy and rice-based meal. It's got dehydrated vegetables. It actually has an M+ package. So we have partnered with the Mattel Institute for the Advancement of Human Nutrition. So we have a vitamin and mineral packet that goes in there. So it's actually the most cost-effective, highly nutritious meal that you're going to find out there. So not only is it something that we're able to put together and get out to our food bank and food pantry partners to distribute to families that need it most, it is as nutritious of a meal, especially for the cost, that a family is going to be able to get.
Where do the fruits of your labor, once you guys are packing this, then where does it go?
Yeah, so we partner with food banks mostly, just from an ease of distribution. We have 2 full-time staff, 1 part-time staff in the office. So we rely very heavily on volunteers and our partners. So we're going to put almost 1 million meals into Central Indiana and across the state in 2025. It would be really challenging to do that individual by individual, or even individual pantry by pantry. So we work a lot with Gleaners, with Midwest Food Bank, with Northwest Indiana Food Bank, Food Finders out in Lafayette. So they're often our distribution partner to get it to the food pantries, who then get it to the families that need it most. So we work with almost 7,000 volunteers in 2025 to pack these meals. And then we get them distributed out to get out to the food pantries. About half of the meals that we pack stay in Indiana. The other half still go to international distribution partners. So last year we sent meals to Guatemala, Honduras, Cuba, Haiti, and we sent almost 1 million meals to Ukraine since the fall of 2022.
You got that package that you held up there. Yep. What is that?
So this is soy. It is rice. There's dehydrated vegetables, and there's the M+ packet. So high in protein, 21 vitamins and minerals. It's designed to add your own seasonings or vegetables or, proteins, add some chicken, some different things. Because this goes all over the world, we know that folks have different palates in central Indiana than they do in Haiti, than they do in Ukraine. So it's really designed to, add those, seasonings, add those vegetables, add those additional protein sources if you have them. We actually are working on a new project called Plenty at Home, where individual partners can do a food drive. We've got 4 recipes that we've created using the NutriPlenty meal with ingredients that most families can find in food pantries. So we've got these 4 recipes. We can do food drives for those ingredients. We can box those up and actually send enough for a family of 4 to have food for a week. And it's going to cost about $30 a box. So finding additional ways to increase our impact to, when a family gets this in a food pantry, they may say, we don't know exactly what to do with this. We're putting a QR code on this packet moving forward so folks can scan it, take them to a recipe page on our website, but then also be able to create these Plenty at Home boxes that we can give out to our pantry partners to give to families that have all of the ingredients that they would need for all 4 of those recipes.
So let's talk about how we got here 15 years in. Again, happy birthday. Congratulations. How did this come to be 15 years ago?
Yeah, Pack Away Hunger started as a Kids Against Hunger chapter. Kids Against Hunger is a Minnesota-based organization that had chapters all over the country. So we actually were founded in 2008 as Kids Against Hunger Greenwood. And then in 2010, many of those Kids Against Hunger chapters, for a variety of reasons, kind of struck out on their own, became their own independent 501c3s. We did that in 2010, in July of 2010, and we became Pack Away Hunger. So this is 15 years of Pack Away Hunger. We've partnered with over 800 meal packing partners and done events, over 107,000 volunteers in that time. And we're actually inching up right around about a month from now. We will pack our 25 millionth meal.
25 million meals over 15 years. And this stuff has gone all over the globe.
All over the world. And what we see initially, it was mostly a lot of international distribution. What we've seen, especially over the last 6 or 7 years, which certainly was an increase during COVID, was much more of that food insecurity and hunger becoming a more visible and ongoing problem around central Indiana and around the state.
Does it feel like things have slowed down at all?
No.
Really?
No. I mean, it's different. It's a different problem. It's not a COVID problem, but it is a chronic challenge, food insecurity and hunger, in our communities. So I would say, no, we're not seeing the food insecurity rate, the hunger rate is not going down over the last couple of years.
What does I guess one of the things I talk to a lot of nonprofits about is how things are these days. Like, it's not getting easier to help people. It's making your organizations even more and more important. Politics aside, there's a lot of stuff going on that is going to cause people to have to rely on what you guys do. So what does the future like? This is a business that we don't want to have be a business or an industry or a service that we don't have to provide. But is there any sign that you're going to go out of business because everybody's all fed?
Yeah, there's no sign of that. We would love that, right? I think most nonprofit leaders would say, their dream, whether you're leading a homeless organization or a food relief organization, I would love for this not to be a problem. I would love for it not to be something that we were worried about. That being said, no, I don't believe that there's going to be, enough food for everybody. Now, take that back. There's plenty of food for everyone. We've got distribution problems. We've got economic problems. There's ways that we could address these in very different ways than we do now. But all indications are pointing to an increase of need and an increase of demand. So unfortunately, we're not worried about going out of business anytime soon. We rely so heavily on our partners and our volunteers. So we're a little bit insulated because we have kind of a Habitat for Humanity model. So our organizations, our partners, the businesses, the churches that we work with pay us per meal to pack. So it's really driven, by that. So we're not as reliant on individual donors. We're not at all reliant on any federal funding or anything like that we're worried about. So, churches, businesses come to us. They provide service opportunities, days of service for their employees, for the folks that are a part of their community, schools, civic groups. And that's how our funding occurs. So it pays for the raw material, it pays for the staffing. So we just need more of that to come along.
Are you working with this giant big team back in the office that is coordinating all the distribution and the volunteers? What's your guys' staffing like?
We have 2 full-time employees and we have 1 half-time employee. So there's myself. I have an operations director who just is unbelievable at what she does. Everything from all of the planning, the logistics, runs all of our events, volunteer management, gets all of the meals, and is responsible for all of the distribution. So the what she's capable of doing as one is pretty unbelievable. And then we have an office manager who does a lot of our grant writing. We would be extremely lost without her. So it is 2.5 full-time staff. And again, reliant on this year, almost 7,000 volunteers. We'll do about 90 events, 7,000 volunteers, and inch back up to almost 2 million meals in 2025, which is, almost double what we were able to do last year.
So how do you know what you're going to need to produce in a given year ahead of time?
We don't. We are usually working about 30 to 60 days in advance. We see what packs we have coming up, what events we have coming up. Right now we're looking at September, October, and then we'll buy all of the materials that we need. Other than our boxes, our pouches, we're getting shipments of rice on a monthly basis. All of the ingredients we're ordering 30 to 60 days in advance to make sure that we have enough for what's coming out. So once a month we're ordering, but looking out only 30 to 60 days to make sure that we have enough, because you never know what's coming. We just got a big event in Columbus, Ohio. It's going to be 60,000 meals. So usually if we have about 30 days notice for an event of any size, we just were in a conversation yesterday with a conference in November. So if we have 30 days notice, we can, pull all of that stuff together to make it work.
So a big thing for you guys, as you said, you've got 2.5 staff.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of volunteers, corporations, schools, organizations to say, hey, we would like to help the cause. How does that all work?
They just reach out to us. You can email us info@packawayhunger.org. Go to the website. There's get involved. Send us a message. Anyone that messages us and says they want to get involved, you're going to get on the phone with me. So we're going to have a conversation, understand your goals, but we're a little bit agnostic in the fact that we go all over the state, oftentimes all over the Midwest. I mentioned a pack in September in Columbus, Ohio. We work with churches, schools, civic groups. We do a lot of work with Rotary clubs and businesses. We've got, businesses of all sizes from small 10-person organizations to large multinationals. The thing about us is we come to you, so we make it as easy as possible. Our team will come, we'll set up in a conference room, in a cafeteria. So you're not taking all day off work. You can come down, pack for a couple of hours. We'll clean up as if we were never there, and we'll get those meals out into the ecosystem within, oftentimes a month.
So if somebody's listening to this and they're in Michigan City, Indiana, and they say, "Hey, I've got my church group here. We want to do something. We want to pack." What happens?
You send us an email. You give us a call. We'll get on. We'll understand your goals. We'll understand your budget. We'll pack up the truck and we'll head to Michigan City. We'll set it up. and your team comes in, does the pack.
Mhm.
So we estimate that one volunteer in our meal pack will do about 200 meals per hour.
Okay.
So highly efficient.
Mhm.
We're going to churn it out. So we're looking probably 15, 20, 25,000 meals.
So are you showing up with those packed, like a truck full of the packs that you've got in front of you?
So we're going to show up with the raw materials. So
Okay.
you're going to have an assembly line.
Okay.
So you're going to have a tub of soy, a tub of rice, a tub of vegetables. You're going to weigh those things out. We're going to scoop them in, weigh them out, seal them,
Mhm.
pack them in boxes, seal the boxes, put them on pallets, wrap those things up. So it's going to come in with a bunch of raw material. It's going to leave with these in boxes on a pallet. So we'll have.
So you're packing those.
That is what you're packing. That
Okay.
is the event.
Okay.
Is taking the raw material and putting it into the package, weighing it, sealing it, and then we'll get it off where it needs to be.
Again, it takes the volunteers to do this because there's only 2.5 of you.
That's right.
And so if you don't have volunteers, what happens then?
Then we don't have meals, and we don't get those meals out. I mean, the volunteers and the number of volunteers, the number of events, we're 100% reliant on those partners to put these meals together. Part of the challenge. So the other thing for folks that are listening is we're always open for groups that want to sponsor packs for other people.
Okay.
Right. So I get calls probably 3 a week from schools, from baseball teams, from Girl Scout troops, from folks that say, we have 50 volunteers, we have 100 volunteers, we want to pack, but they may not have the budget to be able to, put these together. I mentioned being cost effective. We're doing all of that: raw material purchase, staffing, showing up to your place, packing all of the meals, managing all of the distribution for 40 cents a meal.
Okay.
So that's the all-in cost from us being able to get the material to getting it to families that need it for 40 cents a meal. But if you're packing 10,000 meals, that's $4,000. So some groups want to pack and they may not have the budget. So we're also
so when they call, what part are they contributing to?
Yeah, oftentimes they're saying, we've got 50 people and we want to pack. And we say, okay, great. It's going to cost this amount of money. And they say, we don't have any money.
Okay.
Generally speaking, we have to say, well, let's collectively try to find the money. So we're open to grants. We're looking for philanthropy. We're looking for corporate sponsors who say, we want to help a Boys and Girls Club or a high school or a middle school,
because somebody still has to pay for
somebody's got to pay for it.
For the supplies.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember one conversation, somebody said, well, do you know how many meals we could pack with our 100 volunteers? I said, every meal you pack cost us money, right? So as a small nonprofit, we're really reliant on that. So it's, how do we engage more grants? How do we engage more philanthropy? How do we engage more businesses that want to support other folks, doing the pack for them? So it's not just about having a big team to be able to pack. If you're looking for something you can sponsor, I've got more volunteers than we have money to pay for those volunteers. So again, schools, youth groups especially, there's a lot of those groups that reach out and want to serve, but may not have the means to do so from a budgetary perspective. So it's not just organizations looking to bring their team, but you could also look for ways to sponsor packs and sponsor some of those things. We do a public pack the second Saturday of every month, where it's free. You come down to our office. We have space for 50 people, so people can sign up on our website. We're doing a happy hour pack on August 25th. That's on our website. And then we do a second Saturday pack. So I think that's September 10th. Anyone can register, sign up, come down for free, but we also look for sponsors for that. So for $5,000, you can sponsor 50 volunteers to come in and pack 15,000 meals, get your name across the social media and some of those things, because those are things we want to do for the public, to get more people involved in the work that we're doing, but also, again, find ways and folks that want to sponsor those things.
Up until this conversation, I never thought about somebody still having to pay for the materials, because I've done, I've helped pack pack the bags at another event, which we won't name. But and I've also been in places at Gleaners and at Midwest when they are getting ready to distribute the stuff and put it onto a truck. But I never realized until you just said it that even when these folks say, "Hey, I've got 100 people, I've got a band who we've got to do X, Y, and Z, and we want to pack," that somebody still has to pay for that material.
We're getting a semi truck full of rice from our partner in Missouri. We're buying that rice. We're getting it, logistics shipped here. We're buying the soy. We're buying the pouches, buying the boxes, Now, look, if somebody's out there and somebody's listening from the city of Indianapolis, you're listening from the state, and you say, there's no more cost-effective, highly nutritious meal that you're going to be able to put out there, right? So if somebody wants to send us money to put 1 million meals into the state of Indiana, and I don't have to worry about all of that, but yet someone has to pay for it.
Well, and there's that saying that nothing is free,
right?
And even as you talk, I'm putting my business man hat on, and I'm thinking about, okay, that farmer, he's not growing rice just to grow rice for fun.
Right.
He's got bills to pay. That truck that brought it needs its fuel and all its other things, and its driver needs to be paid. So you have organizations along the way who says, hey, I will do this at as low cost as I can. I'm not going to get rich off of this, but I'm going to help you help other people. But still, no one is saying, hey, I'm going to totally eat the cost of driving it from Missouri to here.
Right. Somebody's got to pay for it somewhere along the road. Right. And they give us discounts. They give us things as nonprofits. We are in a buying co-op. There's no one else that could do that for 40 cents a meal.
Right.
Right. I mean, just what we're able to just buy the bulk of it. There's no way we could drive that cost down too much lower than what it is. Right. But being able to do what we're doing because we only have 2.5 full-time staff, because of all of these things we're able to do, we can't get meals into the food ecosystem cheaper. You talked about the need getting better or worse, right? There's so many good organizations that are doing so many great things. We're not solving for a lot of these systemic problems that are causing that. We need all of these organizations doing the work that they're doing, better advocacy, better policy, better systems in place to support poverty and health and education and all these things that factor into food insecurity and hunger. We're not solving for all of that. What we do is put cost-effective, highly nutritious meals into the ecosystem for families very quickly. There's not folks that can do it faster. There's not folks that can do it cheaper. They're not going to put healthier meals out there and as scalable. If somebody said, we want to fund 2 million meals across the state of Indiana, we could activate and do that in the year. There's not many other folks that could do that and do it as inexpensively.
So Packaway Hunger has been around 15 years. How long have you been with the organization?
I've been just a year.
Just a year?
I celebrated my 1 year in July. I've known the organization for a long time. I've been a part of the Rotary Club of Indianapolis. We've done PACs. My predecessor, I knew through Rotary, so lots of connections through the Rotary Club of Indianapolis. So I'd done PACs for years, been involved with the organization, and came on board just a little over a year ago.
So as you guys say on your website, you're really just getting started.
Just getting started.
Tell us about the goal for year 15.
Yeah, so this year we're doing a lot of things, a lot of firsts. So, really celebrating the 15 years and coming up on 25 million meals. So we partnered with Run 317 on their event in Broad Ripple just a few weeks ago. We followed that up with kind of a birthday celebration, an event with Prime 47 in Carmel on July 24th. This Friday, August 8th, we are going to be out at Hickory Hall Polo Club. So if you're listening, come out, $40 at general admission carload. We still have VIP experiences available for up to 20 people to come out and enjoy the polo out up in Whitestown at Hickory Hall Polo this Friday. We've got a silent auction that's currently live that ends 8 p.m. on Sunday, August 10th. So you can go to our website, get more information, bid on some trips and memorabilia, some different things like that. We're doing our first ever fundraising event called Nourish on September 9th. And we've got a number of chefs and restaurants, including Ascension St. Vincent as a sponsor, their chef at Touchpoint, Prime 47 Carmel, making recipes using our NutriPlenty meals. So folks can come out. We're going to do a packing event at the fundraising space at Cinderwood. You can taste the meals that you're packing. So it's family friendly, $20 ticket. So it really is a jump start to more visibility, more brand recognition, and we want to turn around and do 25 million meals again much faster than 15 years. So we're driving towards a need of being able to do 3 million meals a year, over the next year or so. And
of course, the goal, got a $15,000 fundraising goal as well.
We do. We would love to see 1,000 people donate $15. So again, go to our website, donate now. We've got a campaign running that will run, just started July and will run through the end of the year. So $15,000 celebrating 15 years. Can we get 1,000 people to donate $15?
You can start by going to packawayhunger.org.
Yep.
And then you click there. It says join the celebration of 15 years. It'll take you to this page here where you can either donate or you can pack away hunger. What's the Pack Away Hunger shop?
So you can buy Pack Away Hunger gear.
We've
got a little store. It'll take you to some swag for Pack Away Hunger, some teas. There's some general Pack Away merch. There's also some 15-year merch on there. So we've got the store. You can make a donation starting at $15. We certainly welcome donations of more than $15. You can bid on the silent auction. You can buy your general admission carload tickets or VIP experience to Hickory Hall Polo Club this Friday. You can buy tickets, sponsorship opportunities available for our event on September 9th. You can do it all in that kind of one-stop shop there through the link in our website, join our celebration.
Well, I must say, I do like the online shop because this is some good quality stuff. And I like that you can customize. You can change what color you want, the shirt. And of course, I'm always I love a good fleece and I love a good quarter zip.
The quarter zip is really nice. We're rocking the blue here. I've got my Pack Away polo came from that shop.
I love a good quarter zip, man. It won't be long now before that's how we're dressing.
There. Absolutely.
In addition, before we go, if people are like, okay, you got my attention. What's the thing what is the thing that people need to do if they're saying, hey, I want to donate? I've got a group of people who want to box up some stuff. How can people get in touch?
Yep. So through our website, contact us now, but info@packawayhunger.org is certainly the best way. That will oftentimes come directly to me. I will reach out. We'll hop on a call. It doesn't matter. Again, school group, sponsor a pack, sponsor, an organization. Your business wants to pack. We can do as small as 10 people. We can host it at our site. We can come to you. We've done packs as large as 1,000 volunteers between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., hundreds of thousands of meals. So, size and scale is really not. info@packawayhunger.org or go through our website. It'll come directly to me. I'll be in contact and we can find a way to support what your needs are. And we can direct those meals wherever they're needed, right? So you talked about a group in Michigan City wants to do a pack. We can keep those meals in that county.
Okay, cool.
So we do a huge event up in Crown Point.
Yep.
All of those meals stay in Lake County.
Okay.
So, we have the ability to work with the partner to also see where those meals want to go. Sometimes it's pantry specific or county specific, or they say use it where you need it most. And, we'll fill in around the state and sometimes through our international distribution.
All right. Nick, thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for what you guys do. I learned a whole lot. I also remember now that nothing is free. But there's a job that needs to be done, and people continue to need help, especially as things continue to get more difficult for people across the country and here in central Indiana. Nick, thanks again. More Fox 59 tonight is coming up after this. We'll be right back.